Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Thirsty Thursday. Right now, here at YouTube, okay, not here on this channel, but YouTube is probably panicking today and is getting a lot of blowback, a lot of flack, and a lot of questioning right now because last night's Heat Celtics game, which is being streamed on YouTube TV, the last 8 minutes of the game weren't able to be seen. In fact, to make it worse, um, I believe it was a Little Mermaid kept looping. It kept looping. It kept looping on there. So people want to see the last 8 minutes of the game, and they can't see it. They can't see it. On top of that, there were other glitches on YouTube. My fireside chat, which is actually done at my mother-in-law's house. Shout out to my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and things and all. And tried to upload that last night, and it wouldn't upload. It just kept just seeing the wheel just spinning and spinning and spinning. And then after about an hour or two, it would say, file unable to upload. So this was a YouTube glitch across the board. And this is where a lot of people have had reservations. Now, let me say, I have YouTube TV. I got YouTube TV, which has been great for me because basically my cable, I don't have cable here at my mother-in-law. I have a TV that I stream television from, which has been good. When I go over to the Red Brick House, I'm streaming over there because I don't want to have cables run throughout the house and things. So it's been working great for me. And we're about to bite the bullet, of course, for that $100 savings of NFL ticket. And I think that they hit you at that price all at once. So now the question begs is, are we going to have this kind of a glitch when the NFL season starts? Because here's the problem. You know, I know a lot of people are watching the basketball game. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching the basketball game. It's playoffs. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Yeah, playoffs. Now, Sunday Ticket isn't playoffs, but it is, of course, the Sunday Ticket. So for me, I think it's a maximum of 4 games. I will be having TVs on 4 different games for the 1 o'clocks and the 4 o'clocks. So we're live streaming. And I'm sure a lot of people will be. So the question is YouTube TV ready for all of that watching all at one time? And I see NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is talking about the move to. I'm sure they're needing to be proactive right now. You've got people that are basically saying they need to offer a deeper discount. Don't hold your breath on that one. They need to give it to you for free. They're not going to do that either. They're not going to do. I can guarantee you that. What they're going to do is, and quite frankly, I know this sucks if you are a Celtic or Miami Heat fan, but this is the best thing that could happen. This is the best thing that can happen for a football player fan who is thinking about getting Sunday Ticket, because you want the system to be tested before August. You want it to have the glitches now so they can find out who tripped over the cord, who erased the data, who effed it up, so they can fix it before then. See, what's going to happen now is the NFL is like, yo, bro, we're giving you our product. We're not having this kind of shit happen with our product. You get this shit fixed. And I can guarantee you that the people at Google, they're working on that shit. They're going to fix that shit. Best thing that could happen. I'm telling you. It just is. The problem, here's the bigger problem. with streaming is a lot of it depends on your streaming capability. And not everybody has high speed internet. And some people that do have high speed internet, it's really not that high. There's some that are a lot slower than others. So a lot of people were having issues with Amazon Prime. They've got a long way to go on perfecting the system. What this does, I have to say this, because um, in the end, we all want to save money. Okay, nobody wants to spend more money than they have to. And at my house, I have Verizon. In Verizon, I have the internet maxed out. Okay, so I've got speed galore. I've got booster systems that are throughout the house because I've got Wi-Fi enabled cameras, and you get 5 or 6 cameras, and then the wife is streaming Netflix, and the daughter's streaming whatever she's streaming, and so on. And you've got of course the smart light bulbs and stuff. You need a lot of broadband for that, so that's where I've got that sucker super fast. When you do the Wi-Fi test, it's all the way over. Okay, I'm waiting to get a speeding ticket, so I've got that great. My in-laws, they just ended up getting a new router, but before that, the internet was not that fast. It would take quite a while for videos to upload. In the morning, I can upload to Vimeo and a 20-minute video in like 10 seconds. In here, it takes quite a while. So for some people, there may be some lagging there. So the other problem is when you're streaming, it's delayed versus the cable by 15, 20, 30 seconds. So what I can say is I will not cut Verizon cable completely. I'll reduce the number of boxes. We'll basically stream most of the TVs, but I think I'm going to keep the very, very basic service. And I'm going to keep 2 boxes because, see, in life, you need a backup plan. You just do. You don't go through, and this maybe is from being a Boy Scout back in the 70s. Yeah, I'm that old. The Boy Scout motto is be prepared. Be prepared. I'm happy that it's gone to YouTube because I can cut down on a lot of the wiring and stuff that's out. I can move the TVs around better and not have to worry about the cable and everything else to it. I'm excited about that aspect of it. But I'm going to cover my ass and make sure I have a couple of cable boxes. Smart thing to do. So here's the question of the morning for us. And Rich Eisen is good at Rich Eisen, I love Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen is real sports talk, okay? It's a conversation. It's not an argument. It's not anything that's done for, the click, the ass type stuff where it's just bullshit. Rich Eisen at least gives you real sports and a real conversation. Much in the way that PTI still does. And I need to start watching PTI more because PTI is the forerunner of everything here. Rich Eisen points out that same thing we've been talking about for years is on average 6.4 teams that made the playoffs the year before won't make it next year. So you start looking and saying, well, we got the Giants, we got the Cowboys and the Eagles all in our division that made the playoffs. Will we do something we haven't done since the 90s? And that is go to the playoffs 3 years in a row. That's actually a tall task in today's NFL because teams go from worst to first and first to worst every single year. I think we have a good opportunity. I think that a lot of the things that happen to a team when they're successful. The fact that we didn't win the division makes our schedule a little bit easier. The fact that we ended up bringing back Dan Quinn and that we were able to sign the players that were key on this roster helps. The fact that we were able to actually upgrade with Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore and address our weaknesses, aka defensive line, are all things that should make us a credible team. So the question is, what teams, and I'm glad that Rich Eisen actually did this because generally speaking, most talking heads don't take into consideration teams that weren't in the playoffs last year when they do their rankings. They automatically look at the ones that were good last year and say they're going to be good the next year. And that's not the case. I mean, take a look at the Rams. They won the Super Bowl, and they were ass.
There have been, on average, over the last 5 years, 6.4 playoff teams new to the field, on average. Obviously, you can't 0.4 playoff team. But 6 new playoff teams in the NFL last year, 7 the year before, 7 the year before that, and that's 2020 when they expanded the playoff field to 7 teams.
That's amazing.
So half the league, year in and year out, is new. And now that we've got the schedule, now that we've got a lot of football on the mind, because you're seeing rookie mini camps and OTAs and things like that, maybe we'll make this a new May tradition to try and identify who those, if let's just say half the league is going to be new. Oh, yeah. Got the AFC first, huh? There they are. These are the 9 teams that didn't make it last year. So on average, one would say, 3, maybe 4 would come from here or whatever. Steelers, Patriots, Jets, Titans, Browns, Raiders, Broncos, Colts, Texans.
But the thing about the AFC is when you talk about it is who's coming out? Who's not going to make it?
I know that. That's the whole point is usually I require that. I don't want to do that just yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that just yet. Because those are some pretty damn good teams last year that made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who's coming out. But I think the Jets are getting in. I really believe it.
Sure.
I know you think they're still going to be hot garbage. I know you
That's
still
me.
think that.
That's okay.
But
and that's okay.
I mean,
Vegas agrees with you, and the majority of the NFL kind of media agrees.
Why
with
wouldn't
you,
the Steelers be able to make it too?
That's kind of what I think. They were very close last year. Kenny Pickett showed a lot of moxie in the comeback victories. I think he takes a step forward.
So give me a third.
I think it's going to be one of the Raiders or Broncos. Most likely.
You think?
I do. I actually think Denver's going to be better.
But good
I
enough
think they
to
are
go,
too.
if you wouldn't mind putting up the AFC one more time. Right. From 5 and 12, like they're going to be 5 wins better.
We'll
they're going to be 5 wins better.
Maybe they knock out the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers don't make it. So the AFC West still gets 2 teams.
And we're assuming the Jaguars win the AFC South because that's the easiest way to do it is you take out the Jaguars and put some other team from the AFC South in.
I just don't think any of those teams are good enough. Jacksonville's clearly on the rise. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence as a sneaky good fantasy quarterback next year. I think Jacksonville is firmly planted in the plan. It's got to come from the wild card, unless you think the division winners flip-flop.
I mean, you have to figure the Ravens are making it.
But they made it last year, so they're still in.
I understand that.
Right. Does the division get 3 teams, and the AFC as stacked as it is? That's the big question.
Well, it was. I don't know what to tell you, pal. But I think the Jets make it. A team from the West makes it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dolphins made it last year, so.
So Dolphins out, Jets in.
Well, the Dolphins were the team that was.
The Dolphins at full strength are one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL.
And everybody keeps saying that, and I'm not denigrating what you just said by saying what I just said. But I'm telling you, Vic Fangio being the defensive coordinator there is something nobody's talking about. And if they slice enough points per game given up off their average from last year, that alone will put them back in the playoffs. And to his health. That alone will do it. So, man.
Interesting
Put
take.
the NFC up. You tell me. I think everyone's would jump on the line and say they're in, right? And then you could swap out the Bucks maybe for an NFC South team, right? And then I would say the Rams. The Rams.
But who do the Rams replace?
God, I knew you'd ask that question. Because the Vikings could be replaced in their division by the Lions, right?
I think you're looking at Saints, Falcons win the South. One of them is in. That division might only get one team. Detroit's in. I think Minnesota's still good. They could get two teams.
By the way, I'm open to phone calls on this subject matter if you'd like. Yeah, man. I don't know who you put in or you take. Who else would you take? Who else could get in? Let's just put it that way.
Do you want to get in or do you want to take out?
I want to get in. Let's just not complicate the getting out.
Okay. I think one of Atlanta or New Orleans. I think they're going to be good enough. They're going to improve.
I'd say
enough
New Orleans
to have
would
a
be
shot.
better than Atlanta.
I think it's one of those teams. Chicago to go from 3 wins to 10. That's asking a lot. I think for them to be in that 7 and 10, 8 and 9 range, that would be a good improvement. Not good enough to make the playoffs. Green Bay won 8 games last year.
I know.
So the roster is there.
Brother, I need to see.
And that is 100% valid.
I need to see.
But, Rich, when you look at the NFC, okay, it's not like the AFC where it's, pretty much stacked, 1 through 14. 9 and 8, 9, 7 and 1, where your 6 and 7 seeds, Tampa was 8 and 9 and won their division.
Yeah,
so the bar is much lower in the NFC for the wild card.
How about this? If I had to choose the teams in the West, in the NFC to make it, I'd go Lions, I'd go Falcons, and I'd go Rams.
Okay.
And if I had to go in the AFC...
So Falcons win the division?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go Steelers. I'll go Jets. How about this one? I'll go Browns.
That's possible.
That was kind of the initial reason.
But that's a tough division. That division is going to be rough.
Nobody's talking about that team.
Yeah, but I
really
think
good
the
roster.
Ravens,
They still have a really good quarterback.
You know how I feel about the Bengals, where apparently I saw somebody sent me a Sports Illustrated article or blog or what have you article about catching me saying that the Bengals are going to dance on the Elfman in week 1 from our What's More Likely last Friday.
That's nice.
And of course, I got Browns fans pushing back. Burrow's only beaten the Browns once. I get it. You're right.
All right. So, what are your teams that are going to make the playoffs that didn't last year, and who is going to drop out? Is it going to be our Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles? I don't know. Time for me to get over here on the red brick house. Can't wait to see the front door, the trim around the front door painted during the daylight. We put the first coat on that, and it changed the look completely. All right, good people. You have a wonderful day. Peace out.